Hello, I just wanted to take a few minutes to discuss a terrible situation that I went through a few weeks ago with my Volkswagen ID4 electric car. So every time I say I have an electric car, everybody always makes the comment like, oh, I don't know how you can have an electric car because I want to be able to take that car anywhere because what if I lose charge? And every single time I have defended my electric car, saying the same way that you plan on stopping to get fuel is the same way that you're going to be planning to stop to get electric. However, after 2 years of that argument, I went to Jacksonville from Eustis, Florida. It's about 2 hours or 2.5 hours. I don't remember. Anyways, I went for a funeral Friday after work, and I chose the Hilton Hampton Inn because it said that it had a charger. So I charged my car before I left. I said, I go to the viewing Friday night, go back to the hotel, charge overnight, go to the burial Saturday morning, and just come back home. Simple, right? It was my first time taking my electric car out of the vicinity of my home and work, or workplace rather. So here I am thinking that it was that simple, right? Well, when I went to the hotel, it had 2 chargers. One of them was in use, and the other one didn't work. So I was up all night going back and forth to see if it was my car, if it was an issue with the charger. I kept trying and realized in the morning that nothing was charged. I went to the receptionist and advised her, hey, just by any chance, have you heard that one of your chargers isn't working? And she was like, oh yeah, somebody told us. I was like, okay, there's nothing I can do about that. So the only reason I chose this hotel is because it said that it had chargers, right? So anyways, I was like, no problem, I'll just charge on the way home after the burial. Well, I left Jacksonville at 3:30 p.m. because I wanted to make sure that I had an hour to charge and just go home and be home probably by 7. At 3:30 p.m., I left Jacksonville. I got home at midnight because for 6 or 7 hours, I went from Jacksonville to Palm Coast looking for a charger. And the GPS said that there were so many chargers. Well, every single charger that I went to didn't work. On top of that, I went to a Wawa thinking that by now I was going to be able to charge at a Tesla charger because they're superchargers, right? So to my disappointment, and this is not Tesla's fault because it's not their responsibility, I couldn't charge my Volkswagen into a Tesla charger. I was researching while I was looking for a charger that Tesla will have an adapter ready for non-Tesla vehicles in 2025 because now all the car makers that are making electric cars are paying Tesla, Elon Musk, to create some kind of the adapter so us non-Tesla owners could charge at Tesla's superchargers, which are at every Wawa. I mean, let me tell you, When I was in Palm Coast, I kept going to this Wawa because it was kind of like the main point and I wanted to be safe there. I kept seeing all Tesla owners charging for like 15 minutes. They just plugged their cars, went to Wawa, got a snack, came back, and they were all ready to go. Meanwhile, I was there waiting, and my husband kept telling me that he was going to go and pick me up, but I couldn't believe that there was no solution for my problem. So I kept telling him, no, there's got to be a solution here. So I decided to call Geico, which is my insurance company. I called the roadside assistance, and I was like, okay, you know what? Can you just, pick me up and take me to a charger? You will think that Geico had this issue before and they will know where I could charge my car. Well, unfortunately, I was ruining this driver's night, and he got to the site in a bad mood, telling me how much he hates electric cars because of the situation that I was going through, and he didn't know how to help me. He didn't know where to take me for me to charge my car. I mean, he was useless. And at that point, I couldn't handle any other situation. So I was like, you know what, just go. Thank you for nothing. And I'll try to find another way. So at that point, my husband said, you know what, I am not waiting for you anymore. I am going to go and pick you up. He hung up the phone and drove to where I was. So I decided to call the Volkswagen roadside assistance, and the driver was amazing. He was on the phone. He was like, you know what, just leave the key with the Wawa manager. I'll go and pick it up, bring it to a Volkswagen dealership, and you can deal with this tomorrow because you have dealt with so much already. So there's no need for you to stay there because the chargers are behind a gate, so you're not going to be able to charge. I'm just going to drop it off, and then you can go back tomorrow. The following day, I did the same. I did what I was told. I went to the dealership, brought my key, charged the car while I was having breakfast. It took maybe an hour, and I brought my car back. My point is that if you're going to sell me an electric car with the promise that everywhere I go, I'm going to find a charger, which is not true, I don't appreciate that. The only car maker that took care of his clients is Elon Musk. He created the car and the chargers, so these drivers have no issue going everywhere. I mean, everywhere, because you find a supercharger on every Wawa that I saw. But the rest of the car makers, I am so disappointed. I mean, I by no means I'm a rich person, but at this point, I can only use my expensive car in my vicinity because I will never take my car out of this area because I know that I'm going to go through the same thing. There are chargers on the way from Jacksonville to Eustis. However, they don't work. I used a Blink charger, which I've never heard of, took my $20, never charged my car. All the charge point chargers, which is the one that I use at my city, they did not work. I mean, I am telling you, it was the worst nightmare that I've ever experienced. So I hope that all these people, car makers, do something about it. Make your payment quick to Tesla so he can create the adapter, because at this point we are we are helpless, not useless, helpless.